What's up, guys? So the day is here. AC Evo has launched in early access, at least the first phase of early access. And so today's video is just going to be really a first impressions on it. I've done a little bit of driving, just enough to get my force feedback settings roughly how I want them, make sure my controls are mapped and all that. But yeah, something on that actually. Mapping the controls. When you're doing that, make sure you have the correct device selected up here at the top, so that way, you know, it'll actually read your inputs. I thought my steering wheel wasn't working at first, and it turns out it was trying to map keyboard and mouse controls. So, tip for that. And then with my throttles, at least my pedals, I had to go into properties and invert the axis, or I think inverted was turned on. I had to uncheck that for all three pedals, otherwise it just had them all pinned to the floor on their own. And same for the handbrake as well, because I knew to invert the pedals. I'd read that on Reddit, and then got out there in the car, just kept stalling, and I couldn't figure it out, and it turns out my handbrake was doing the same thing. So if you're having trouble, just make sure those are working correctly with your setup. As far as performance goes, I am running 4K. I have a 7900 XTX graphics card and a 5800 X3D CPU, and I've had most of the settings turned all the way up. Multi-sample AA I have down to 4, grass I have turned off, and then I kept experimental sim shadows off. Shadows are kind of always a frame rate killer, so I just decided to leave the regular ones all the way up and turn these off, because being experimental, I imagine it's going to either be janky or affect frame rate. But other than that, that's really all I've messed with. We're going to start using the Lotus Emira at Brands Hatch. But yeah, we'll pick a few other types of cars to use on different tracks. Try to use some of the cars that we haven't seen, you know, in ACC. But we're not going to use that thing though. But yeah, so we'll start with the Lotus. Where is it? And it's pretty cool. They have the different like trims. So this is the first edition touring with the leather. Then you have the first edition touring with the black package, so the black roof and the Alcantara interior. So it does look like we'll be able to customize cars based on the like manufacturer offerings. We unfortunately, the customize button here doesn't work, but it does look like we should be able to change paint color, and interior color would be really cool too if we could do that. But yeah, and then you have different scene options, so we can change us to be in this wood panel room here, or in a city block. So pretty cool. And then you also can, for photo mode, you can change the direction of the wheel, you know, open different parts of the car if you want. It's kind of like the what's it called, the Forza Vista mode in Forza. You can do flashers, hazards, rain light. So yeah, pretty cool, especially once this gets more fleshed out. But yeah, let's go ahead. We're just gonna hop in a practice session, clear weather at Brands Hatch. And I haven't looked at vehicle setup yet. Let's see if, imagine it's like ACC. So pressure toe camber. Okay, so electronic suspension and dampers aren't available yet. So that's part of the car customization or car tuning that they said is going to come later. Can adjust ride height, and that's really it. Okay, so we're going to leave that stock. We're not going to mess with that. Let's hop in. I do have seat controls maps. We're going to raise the seat up. Forward. All right, that should be pretty good. So you do have ignition and starter. And, ooh, this is a 6-speed Emira. Nice. Oh, and you can stall. All right. sounds okay. A little bit of driving I've done, it seems like the cars that were in ACC sound better in this, mainly because they've reused some of the sound files. A lot of the other cars don't sound like they've really had a crazy amount of detail to them. Now, granted, ooh, that felt good. These are road cars, so they're not going to be quite as loud, but yeah, driving feel feels pretty natural. In this car, at least, the understeer feeling is very strong. The steering, it goes numb. You still have weight to it, but the steering goes a little numb. Man, this thing understeers. I am not used to road cars on this track. I like the curb feel. The curbs are more... I feel like they're a little more subtle than ACC. But yeah, the game looks good. There's definitely none of the blurriness that ACC can suffer from. I see a little bit of aliasing in places, but nothing too terrible. Oh, God. The gravel really slows you down, which is realistic. Let's see if we can do a drift again. Oh, I have traction on. Okay, hold on. That might be why we're understeering like crazy. Besides my terrible driving. That's still an understeer setup. It is a road car. I'm not a fan of how the look right, look left is immediate and not your driver turning his head like an ACC, but it's a very small complaint. The HUD is basically retooled from ACC, at least the lower right. I'm not a fan of the HUD at the top left and the top center. It looks very basic. I imagine it's, you know, not final. But the important thing is that the game runs pretty smooth. I mean, I'm recording on OBS. I'm right now getting 70 to 80 still. So I'm sure if you're playing this at 1080p or 1440 on a lower end graphics card than what I have, it should still be pretty solid performance. Let's get a little slide going. Yeah, that feels so good. Rotate solely on the power though. You got to do a little bit of weight transfer. Alright, we'll finish this lap and then we'll try another car and track combo. One thing I have noticed, I haven't seen it on this track though, but I saw it on Mount Panorama earlier when I was first setting everything up, is that sometimes the textures of the road surface don't load in time, or the detailed textures, I should say. It's not that the track disappears, it's just that it looks very blurry, and then it loads in too late, but I'm not noticing it here. So I wonder if that was just a... Does the handbrake work? Yep. Emergency pit stop. Do pit limiters matter? Yes, they do. I got a drive through. Okay. Pit stop. Okay. No pit crew or anything. Wonder if we'll eventually get that. Like an ACC. All right. So that was Brands Hatch in the Amira. Fun car. If I had tuning, I would definitely set it a little, set it up for a little less understeer. All right. So next is Imola. So naturally, we're gonna have to do an Italian car, and I've not driven Giulia yet. These are all the GTA, just with different liveries, huh? Alright, I'm not a fan of the livery, so we're just going to do the basic one. It's a good looking car. Let's do, we'll kind of change the weather up each time too. Let's do scattered clouds. We'll get up to rain. I don't want to do heavy rain, but we'll do scattered, broken, overcast, and then rain. All right, this car should be paddle shift. All right, well, that's new. A little bit of a graphical hitch. It looks like it's aliasing related. It's only on... No, it looks like it's just that same texture across the track. Okay. As long as the track doesn't do that, we should be fine. Alright, this seating position started closer to what I need than the Lotus. There we go. Drive through, but it doesn't matter. And this car's almost silent when you're not on the throttle. This thing wants to rotate a lot more than the Lotus, though. Traction off. Alright, the game is definitely not running as well. The frame rate isn't bad, but it feels a little stuttery here, and I don't know if it's related to that texture issue. Or if it's a weather thing. Whoa! Meant to do that. Yeah, this car, you can't hear the engine when you're downshifting. You get like no feedback that you've downshifted. SimHub isn't working with this yet, obviously, so that might be part of it too, is I'm getting no seat of the pants feel from Buttkicker. Let's see what we can get this thing up to. Haven't changed it to miles an hour yet. Car. This thing likes to slide around, but it does it in such a predictable way. mouse cursor popping up. It's getting annoying. Yeah, this car's fun. I just don't like how you don't hear the engine downshifting. Alright, we're gonna finish this lap. Whoop. Yeah, I'm trying to compare this to, I mean, with a road car like this, I think Assetto Corsa is the best comparison, obviously. ACC. Oh, it's all race cars, but yeah, I mean, it just went over a sausage curb like that, and the car wasn't really that affected by it. So, in AC1, we would have gone bouncing away. Gearing is weird on this thing. Alright, fun car. But yeah, it's just silent on the downshifts. Alright, what's next? What's next? One positive thing I want to mention too, the loading times are pretty quick, considering they're not on Unreal anymore. Alright, what's our next track? Actually, I want to pick that first. Laguna Seca, okay. So Laguna Seca, we gotta do an American car, right? We got the Camaro, is that pretty much it? Actually, we just drove the Alpha and it was kind of a big heavy car, so let's not do another one. Let's do the GR86. And we'll change the weather to broken clouds. Yeah, I was kind of tempted to do the S2000 too, but I heard the S2000 apparently sounds like garbage. Alright, so the same texture bug is going on. So I'm interested to see if this is track specific or... Oh, we stalled. If it's track specific or if it's something that just starts and then it never goes away. Alright, pit limiter. We're just gonna ignore that for now. Good old 6-speed. This is one of the cars I set up my force feedback in so my view is set correctly. No issues getting sideways. It's not exactly the most powerful car in the world, so... Man, how is that Alpha easier to drift than this thing? Ooh, that curb feels good. I really like the feel of the curbs in this game. Oh! Wow. That did not feel or sound good. I gotta figure out how to turn that camera motion off. oversteer there. Yeah, this car, it's like it gets sideways and then it hits a certain angle and then it just does not want to come back around. Yeah, I mean, I know the GR86 isn't the best sounding car ever, but the sound that they're using right now sounds just very generic. Yeah, I don't understand how this car of all the cars is the hardest for me to drift. It's so snappy. And then yeah, it just bogs if you try it too long in third gear. Yeah, man, this thing moves around if you want it to. But I mean, the best thing I can say is it doesn't feel unnatural doing so. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing. There we go. I don't feel like I'm missing information on what the car's doing. It's just, it's a little snappier, a little less forgiving than the Alpha was. Alright, we'll do one more lap. Try to keep the car pointed straight this time. Try being the keyword here. All the cars, the 200 horsepower Toyota is the one that spit me back the hardest. I'm sure these rear tires are absolutely fried. But yeah, weight transfer in the forced feedback is good. I feel like I would like a little more detail. I'm sure I can fine tune that between the Simagic software and settings in the game. But the weighting feels good, the way the steering weights up feels good. Performance was definitely better on this track, like PC performance-wise, than it was at Imola, so I'm wondering if just the longer view distances at Imola is what was doing it. Alright, next track, Mount Panorama, and we're gonna do not a road car this time. We need some extra grip. So let's do we want to do the GT2 or the Porsche Cup? Let's do the Porsche Cup. I've definitely driven that more recently in ACC. Base variant. What are the differences between Porsche Cup Experience and Porsche Cup Customer? Either way, we'll go with that one. And I did say we'd do weather, didn't we? We'll come back to weather. I don't think I want to do Porsche Cup at Mount Panorama as my first time in the rain. We'll do a rain race at the end. Alright. Do we have more tuning with this car versus a road car? We do, okay. So I guess it's just if the car offers it, then you can adjust it otherwise. Alright, cool. So I wonder what they mean by car tuning. That's going to come later. Maybe actually upgrading the car. The performance parts, aero parts, things like that. Alright, car started. Let's go. Oh. Damn, you gotta... This is embarrassing. See, it only let me rev to a certain RPM. There we go. If you let off the clutch at all without being full throttle, it just stalled immediately. But yeah, as you can probably hear, the sound is taken pretty much straight from ACC. Just sounds a lot more detailed. And obviously the race cars are going to be louder, but... Alright, much quicker steering. Feels weird driving this thing with a 330mm wheel. Biggest thing I can say is this does not feel nearly as bouncy as ACC. Definitely feels like a stiffer sprung car. Oop. So assuming we started on cold tires, it feels like there's a lot more grip right off the bat than an ACC. Oh, that's not good. Ow! Alright, don't have your thumb stuck in the wheel. The car feels, that high-speed kink. Now, I don't know if it was just because I was driving road cars, but it feels like the front end is way more responsive than an ACC going over that. I mean, I've driven this car on this track. I was not expecting it to turn in that hard. But yeah, I'm able to use a lot more throttle exiting corners than an ACC. The car under braking feels similar to ACC, but I don't think you definitely don't have to slam the brakes as hard. we go again. And collisions feel like they, it feels like you bounce off the surface less, if that makes sense. You don't just like pogo off a concrete wall. Kind of affects your momentum more. Alright, let's see if we can do this kink correctly this time, huh? Wow, you just clipped that curb. And you are dead. Wow, okay. Interesting, interesting. Let's switch up track and car now. That's gonna be... I can see that going horribly in some online races. Alright, Suzuka. Let's do another road car. Let's do the S2000. We're in Japan anyway. Let's go silver with red seats. But yeah, see, oh, it's gonna make me go all the way back. Go to Honda. Yeah, single tone leather, dual tone leather. This is really cool. I'm glad that they did this. It's kind of like Test Drive Unlimited. How they used to let you choose that kind of stuff. Alright, and we'll do overcast. So we should be able to adjust much in this car. Yep, okay. Okay, so it's per car. Ooh, 9,000 RPM. The engine sound almost gets quieter at high RPMs. Yeah, so we got the texture bug again. We're gonna do a rain race at Brands Hatch and see if that texture bug is still happening. Whoa! I was gonna say, this car feels more aggressive than the GR86 does. At least in the initial slide. But then the recentering, it really wants to go back the other way. One note on braking, while you don't have to brake as hard, I feel like you don't really get as much feel for the car under braking either. I mean, we are on road tires, but although I get part of that could just be, again, no sim hub compatibility, so I'm not getting the motor on the pedal going when ABS kicks in. Curb feels good there too. Let's see what this thing can do here. I'm not going to go to 6th. Shortcut. I feel like I've been short shifting this thing this whole time. Nope. It bogged but didn't spin out. Finish this lap and then we'll try a rain race. Yeah, I'm short shifting this thing. Come on, 9,000, let's go. Alright, if you really get on the brakes to the point where the back end of this car is going to come around, you do feel some of the ABS come through the wheel. It's very subtle, but you do feel it. But you have to be on hard on the brakes. Let's see if this whole time I just hadn't been triggering ABS ever. Until then. Yeah, okay. I may have just not been braking aggressively enough to trigger ABS up until then. Alright, Honda S2000. That didn't go how I planned it. Alright, yeah, menus nice and snappy. And again, loading times pretty solid. So that's all the 5 tracks without the variants, obviously. So we'll go back to Brands Hatch and set it to just rain. Dynamic weather. We'll do static for now. That'll be another time. Alright, what's a car? Let's do a road car. I do kind of want to do something. Let's do the Alpine. I don't want to do a front-wheel drive car in the rain. Alright, so this will be the last... well, we'll do this and then we'll do a race with AI just to see how the AI are. Like a very short race. So do we choose... It doesn't look like we choose tires. So I'm guessing the game chooses for us based on conditions, which maybe if you set it to dynamic it lets you choose, since technically... Alright, what did I map to? know I'm at wipers to something. That's rain light. That's lights. That's wiper. There we go. Whoa, that's... There's some effective ass wipers. Look at that. There's no way those are that quick in real life. Alright, Alpine's paddle shift, unfortunately. Alright, the rain effects on the windshield. Yeah, so we're getting the texture bug now, too. Okay. Interesting. Don't know what causes that. But it seems like once it starts, it doesn't stop. Definitely losing frame rate with the rain. We're down in the 60s. That texture bug, in addition to the raindrops, is making it not the easiest to see. Yeah, not only is the frame rate lower, it just doesn't feel as stable either. I don't think the rain effects on the windshield look all that great at the moment. Yeah, they just really... They're really ugly, to be honest. See if I can turn the really fast wipers on and I have to see them. I mean, I'm assuming we're on rain tires. This just says road tires, so yeah, okay. Yeah, we got next to no grip. So the rain is not super easy to drive in, at least. Let's try it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The way the game is running right now just makes it very hard to enjoy driving in the rain. The raindrop effects are just like not pretty. Block up your entire screen. Combined with the texture bug and the like micro stuttering I'm getting, it just I can barely focus on where I'm going, to be honest. So yeah, at the moment, not a fan of the rain. I like the rain in ACC, but unfortunately, it's kind of like Le Mans Ultimate's rain at the moment, where it just doesn't feel nearly as good doesn't look nearly as good. The game doesn't run as good and it just doesn't feel as good. All right, we're gonna do one more thing. We will do a quick race with AI. We'll just do a short, like 3-lap race. Race time multiplier, grid type automatic, number of opponents. Yeah, it was set on 9. We'll just leave it on 9. Opponent skill 90. And one more car that we have not driven. Let's do the Ferrari 296. Got a bunch of these driving around that sound good. And we'll do... Let's do Imola. there. Yeah, I mean, for early access, I don't think this game is in terrible shape. I'm gonna see. I can't be the only one with that texture bug. Hopefully that gets fixed fairly soon. That's just very distracting. Depending on where you are on the track. Alright, you still have to start your car even at the start line. Oh, okay. You can definitely jump the grid. Yeah, the curb feel is so good. Steering in this car is a lot heavier. Man, they are just sticking to a complete single file line. Look at that. Oh. Definitely tell we didn't have GT3 Aero going over that hill. I don't know what it is. There's something about the force feedback in this car that just feels more put together and polished. I feel like I'm getting more information in this car than I have in any of the others. Brake a little early. Yeah, I mean, they don't really defend. AI is definitely not the absolute best I've seen, but neither is my driving. Alright, we got one more lap. So much we'll be able to just right down the inside. Alright, it looks like you see the warnings everyone gets in the race. Showing a warning for driver number 14 and 16. Let's turn traction off. It's probably a terrible idea, but Yeah, Imola is definitely the worst track as far as frame rate and performance. It's dropping down into the 50s now. Really overshot that. Turns out you can't brake in the same spot as you can in a GT3 car when you have less aero and more power. Imagine that. This thing just shreds tires. Race over. No. All right. Well, that is honestly all there really is to look at in AC Evo, besides a few more cars that I'm not crazy interested in. So thoughts, I think it's a solid starting point. I don't think you're really missing out on much by not buying early access right now if you're on the fence. Not that it's bad or anything, but it definitely feels still like an early access game. But you can see where, you know, there's potential for cool gameplay, the car customization that we just don't have yet. And it looks like once it goes, the online isn't working yet. Once online comes on, that's when customization is going to work and the special events are going to work. Doesn't load any right now. And the driver academy, things like that. So definitely more to look forward to. This stuff was supposed to be working at launch. They just haven't gotten the servers online yet, but yeah, I mean, it's a solid starting point. And hopefully, I mean, they're talking about it being version 1.0 in the fall of this year. I could see that getting pushed back to the winter of this year, but it performs better than the Mall Ultimate did at launch, but I don't. The Mall Ultimate, the way the racing is just more engaging than single player racing is in this. Just the way the cars behave and everything. The Mall Ultimate was like the racing was fun, and it was everything around it that really let it down when it launched. And this so far doesn't make me like crave to keep driving in it. So hopefully when they bring more features online and car customization and things like that, we can get there. And I do want to mess around with graphic settings and things like that, and kind of, you know, let other people mess around with it that know more of what they're doing, and figure out which settings really help the game look great and which, you know, help with frame rate and things like that. Because it's not a bad looking game right now, and there's no blurriness like I said earlier, like there is in ACC, but there's a decent amount of aliasing still going on. There's that texture bug, and, you know, like for instance, I don't know if I should be running this anti-aliasing on top of the multi-sample. Does that help? Does that hurt? Right there, it looks like that helps a ton. Alright, so we're gonna leave that on. Yeah, I mean, the game, I think the game looks better than ACC. I think the lighting is definitely better than ACC. So yeah, it's you know, so we got a year ahead to watch this game develop, and I think the free roam thing is that's what I'm most excited about. I have some friends that aren't super competitive with sim racing, but you know, like to just hop in and drive around, and so that mode is going to be perfect for us. But at the same time, you know, obviously LFM, I assume, will support this. You know, so once they get the field filled out with get the car list filled out, we can get full grids with cars that are competitive with each other. I think, you know, this has the potential to be a good all-in-one sim that can do pretty much everything, especially if they had, you know, car tuning and performance upgrading and things like that. But we just don't know how detailed that's going to be. But yeah, I mean, just having the different, you know, additions and trim levels of cars is cool. You know, lets you just customize it that much further than just, you know, paint color. But yeah, we'll see. UI is decent. I don't have anything really to rave about, but at the same time, I don't have anything to complain about. It was easy to find everything I was looking for, which, you know, if you break it down, that's the point of a UI. So it's satisfactory there. I wish it had a little more flair to it, but yeah, I mean, it's like version 0.1, so plenty that they can do. I think performance is solid considering this is the starting point. And yeah, I don't do single player racing really, so the AI, I mean, the AI is not very great, as you saw, but that's not something I really look for in sim racing games. I do mainly multiplayer. If I'm driving by myself, I'm just practicing drifting or hot lapping or something like that. But if that is something, you know, that does matter to you, I don't think right now this is worth buying for single player racing, because the AI, just from what we saw, isn't up to snuff. So yeah, I'm gonna play around with it, dial in my force feedback settings a little bit. I was gonna say dial in visual settings, but honestly, after double stacking the anti-aliasing, I think the game is looking really, really good, and hopefully that texture bug either gets dialed out or people can figure out what's going on with it, because I've seen it mentioned before in the Discord. I'm definitely not the only person that has it. It sounds like I wouldn't be surprised if it's an AMD only thing, because I think both people I saw mention it were on AMD cards. So if you're on Nvidia, you might be lucky. But yeah, I mean, really, as far as first impressions go, that's about all I have. You have a driver profile here. Apparently this doesn't save, so I haven't bothered with it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. Very informal video. I just downloaded the game, hopped in, configured things for 15 minutes, and then just kind of wanted to see how it is. But hopefully you found that remotely interesting. Out of the, you know, probably 3,000 AC Evo videos that are coming out over the next few days. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on changes whenever they do big updates, and hopefully we see solid progress. I mean, having an actual roadmap is nice. You know, Le Mans Ultimate, it's been close to a year, and I mean, I really love Le Mans Ultimate, but you know, we didn't really get a roadmap on features or anything like that, so it's nice to have one with this game. Even if you know, they slip the date a little bit, you at least know what they're working on and what they're planning on adding. So yeah. But yeah, gonna end the video there. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.